Are you? How are you? This is Latanya Washington, the founder of the Internationalist Tour, Lessons in Success Training for not just the entrepreneur, but this year in 2020, we're going to be dealing more with organizations, organizational leaders. That means people who are heading up departments, whether you're in the church sector, whether you're in the business realm, whatever it is. We're going to be dealing with that. And so I am excited tonight because I shared within our group, our entrepreneurial community on Facebook, that I am going to be doing a session this evening that is going to be focused in on, that is going to be focused in on goal setting. And so I wanted to just jump in now so I can get started. And Alicia, if you're going to hang around, you know you can always shed some light in on information that we can provide people on this evening as well. I wanted to do this, you guys, because we're about to hit 2020. And in hitting 2020, a lot of times we go in blindly. We don't understand what it is that we need to do to get to where we need to go. And so I wanted to just jump in and give some tidbits in regards to it because it is so necessary in order for us to get where we need to be. Now, goal setting is not necessarily strategy. You have to develop a goal and know what your goal is. We're going to be talking about this tonight. So you who will be jumping in as we go throughout the evening, you who will be jumping in, I want to make sure that you have a pencil, a piece of paper, or a notebook, whatever it is, as well as ink pen, whatever it is. Now, I always tell people now, here it is. I keep planners. I have my 2019 planner, and I already have my 2020 planner. Now, I don't do little planners like this, you guys. I do big planners. Let me show you my big planner. I do big planners like this. Now, I do big planners like this because I want to make sure that I can see everything that I put on the inside. And so for me personally, I just simply do big planners. And so I can see everything, so I can put more information in. I can write big, and I can have all of that available. All right. And so in regards to tonight, I always say I don't like wasting time. I not only do not want to waste my time, but I don't want to waste you all's time either. And so I want to make sure I get started. So as people are consistently coming in, I am going to start. Now, as I said before, previously, I was called into not only to do customer culture, which is something that I focused in on for my business. And I teach that in organizations. I teach that at universities. I teach that in the college realm. I teach it in the businesses. And so there was one point in time I was literally called in to teach strategic planning in one of the departments. It was a department of special populations and equity programs. And in that, I began to say, not only did I not, I had to develop the curriculum for it. One thing you don't do is go into a college or university setting and not be ready. It's real. And so, plus the pay is real. And so I wanted to make sure not only being able to have that available to them, it was specific for them, but I also wanted to also have something available for you all who are looking and creating your own goals for the new year. All right. And so in that, I want us to get started on tonight because goal setting is so necessary, and we just leave it in the cloud and not move forward in regards to it. All right. And so let's start with this, because we hear about this all the time in regards to SMART goals. We hear it all the time, whether you know it or not. Let me share with you what a SMART goal is. SMART goal stands for being specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. That is what a SMART goal is. Now, when we talk about those, so let's break those things down just a little bit. When we talk about SMART goals, we're talking about being specific. You have to be able to know, and I wrote those things down. It's backwards, but I wrote it down. But I want you guys to write these things down because you need them, even as you're watching this tonight. You have to be specific in regards to what it is you're trying to achieve. You have to be clear. You have to have clarity on what it is. And so that means if I say, I want to write a book, I have to be more specific and be very clear on what type of book that I'm looking to write. I just don't want to leave it at, I want to write a book in 2020. I want to say, I want to write a book to enhance the well-being of people in the industry. You have to become very clear and very specific, because just like a mission statement, and I always tell people about this, you want to be clear. It's not just for you, but it's for other people. And so in that, being specific, that's the S of the SMART goal. The next thing you want to do is make sure it is measurable. Now here we go is, when I say measurable, how much? Basically, how many? What do I need to do? How much time do I need to give? How many things do I need to put? What is it? How much do I need? Or things like that. And so you want to make sure it's measurable. When do I need to have it done by? What time? All of those things. Now, then two, we're talking about it being achievable. Who can help me? Who can support me in it? Do I need the support? What resources do I need to achieve the goal? What do I need to get to that point? And so you want to make sure that you have that too. And then two, you guys, you want to make sure that it is relevant. Does it make a difference? Whatever you're saying, will it make a difference in the lives of people? Whether it's the masses, one person, whoever it is, you want to make sure that it is relevant and then time bound. That means if I say I'm going to get it done today, or I'm going to get it done tomorrow, I'm going to get it done by next week, I need to create benchmarks in order to get it to that place, to make sure that I get it to where I need it to go. And so you want to make sure that you have all of that in order, all right, before you go in it. Hey, space printing. Miss you guys. All right. And so now, first of all, you want to make sure that you understand what that goal is. Remember, we're talking about being specific and understanding what it is. And so therefore, you have to ask yourself, my goal is, what is my goal? Like I said before, is it to write a book? Is my goal to help people in Africa? What is the actual goal that I'm going for that I can be very specific on and make sure that I have it written down? And that's why even right now, you guys, take out time and say, this is the goal in which I want to accomplish. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to do that. My goal is to speak on a major platform in Los Angeles. My goal is to speak to women who've gone through divorce at the age group of 40 to 45. Whatever it is, be specific on your goal, all right? Now, I always say this because a lot of times people do not ask themselves, or really ask themselves, why is this goal important? Why is this goal important to me? And we forget about that aspect of it because it has to be important. It has to have a purpose. It has to be driven. There has to be drive behind it. And so in that next, I want you to ask yourself, and I know it's backwards, but why is this goal important? Not only important to me, but it could be important to a group of people that I may be attached to. So you have to ask yourself, why is it important? So I want you to take out some time to simply write down why it is important. Now remember, I said make sure that you bring in your pencil, your pad, all of that, to make sure that you get the chance to even put all this information down. All right? Now you have to ask yourself, when is the goal start date? Now, I said this is my goal. This is what I want to accomplish. Why it's important to me. Now you have to tell yourself, this is the day that I'm going to start working on this goal. Now, even though we're dealing with the goal setting, this is not strategy yet, because strategy comes a little bit later. Now you're just simply setting your goal. So your start date is, I'm going to start working on this tomorrow. So just like a lot of people are saying now, okay, I want to lose weight. Now, we already know this is the holiday season, so for some people, if you want to lose weight, my goal is to lose 100 pounds. Your goal date, your start date may not be until December 26th. So never just say, I'm going to start my weight loss program after Christmas. Give it a date, all right? So remember, always in a goal, set a date. Wednesday, July 5th, 2019. Set the goal. Now, too, you want to make sure that you have a finish date as well. When do I want to have this finished by? Now, let me say this. Even though you want to have it finished by a certain date, it may not happen, but you want to set it so you have something to reach towards. So, your finish date for that goal is such and such a date. It could be September 9th, 2020. Set the date. Now, another thing is, do not set a goal finish so far in advance that you find yourself procrastinating. Challenge yourself to get to that point of ensuring that you set a date to start July 5th, 2019, and your goal finish date could be September 9th, 2020. It just all depends on how big of it is, how big of a project it is. Now, too, remember, there are benchmarks in between all of these. And so we want to make sure that you give yourself enough time and you're well prepared to go to that next level. All right? So make sure you do that. Next thing is, you guys, you want to map out steps to reach your goal. What is it that you need to do to reach that goal? All right? Do you now need, as we said before, who do I need? And sometimes you just need people around you to help you. Or the steps that I need. Do I need to get more education to get to my goal? Do I need to develop more skills? What is it that I need to get to my goal? Do I need to, get out and jog? What are the steps? Do I need to go buy new tennis shoes? Do I need some socks? What is it? Do I need, if I'm cooking, do I need certain ingredients? What are the steps that I need? Do I need to take cooking lessons? What steps do I need to reach my goal? And so you want to sit down. That's why a lot of times, as we say, we fail because we fail to plan. When we come to goal setting and strategic planning, it takes time and it takes effort and it takes conscious decisions to sit down and say, this is what it is that I need to do and this is what I have to do to get to where I need to go. So I want you all to evaluate that and create steps to reach your goal. Ask yourself, what is it? What is it that I need to do to get there? I know Space Printing is on here. I know they do some fabulous work when it comes to graphic designs and banners and all those things. And so they didn't just get their brick and mortar. There were things that they had to do. And even now, I'm sure that there are things that they're looking to do even in 2020. Now I want you guys to begin to ask yourself, what are the 3 things that are going to help me reach my goal? Now, this is where I say a lot of times mentorship comes in to help you reach your goal. Everyone needs a mentor. And so is it mentorship? Do you need someone to mentor you to help you get there? Now, you don't want to become so bound to just a mentor. You want to make sure that you find the right mentor, but you're also willing to do the work. And you're also willing to challenge yourself to get through the process of getting to your very own finish line. So you want to think about 3 things. Think about 3 things, you guys, that's going to help you reach your goal. All right? Take out time and just simply write those 3 things that are going to help you reach your goal. It could be that mentor. It could be, like I said, you going out and learning more, whether it is online, taking an online course, or it's going to school, or it is simply sitting down and reading a book, getting information you need, or it is simply some people are thinking about food trucks, so that means I now need to go out and look at trucks that I can purchase, banks that are open and willing to allow me to loan from them, and go from there. And so you always want to make sure that you do that, and go from there. All right? Next thing you want to do, you guys, is ask yourself, what problems may hinder me or stop me from reaching my goal? Because there's always something. Now, let me stop there real quick. Because we're living in a social media age. We're living in a technological age in which when we wake up in the morning, first thing we do a lot of times is go straight to our phones. We put a lot of clutter in our head, and therefore it can hinder us from accomplishing the things in that day that we need to accomplish, because we begin to waste time. One thing I learned in life is time waits for no man. And in time not waiting for no man, when we do not stay focused in on the things we need to do, we begin to waste time. And so I don't want you all to waste time. So evaluate the things that will hinder you. Now, when you begin to evaluate those things that will hinder you from reaching your goal, that way you can put those things to the side. A lot of times, because I am my own business owner, my own business owner, people assume that I have nothing else to do. So that means many times I have to put my phone on silent, or I have to put it in another room, or I have to do whatever I need to do to ensure that I get done what I said I was going to get done for the day. So I want you all to evaluate those things that hinder you, write them down, so you can be very, very cognizant of what they are. Next thing is, you guys, and I talk about this often, is I know I have to reach my goal, because for some people, if you don't reach your goal, you could be out on the street. For some people, if you don't reach your goal, you cannot leave a legacy for your children. And so in that, you want to ask yourself, if I don't reach my goal, this what can happen. If I don't reach my goal, this can happen. I want to reach my goal because I want to leave money for my children. I want to reach my goal because I want to open up a business that is conducive to the lifestyle that I want to live. I want to reach my goal because, ask yourself these questions. We don't go in and we don't dig deep. We stay on the surface. And when we stay on the surface many times, we don't accomplish the things that we need to accomplish, and we don't get to the level we need to get to because it's too surfacey, as we say. That's not even a word, but I just created it. And so we want to make sure that we create it. We want to make sure that we develop our goals, and we want to make sure that you have the date, the time, all of those things. Remember and understand the reason why you do it. So I'm going to do a quick recap, and we're going to be on about our way. Remember, we look at SMART goals, being specific. Are they measurable, achievable, relevant, as well as time bound? Did I give myself enough time to do it from there? All right. Next thing is, you want to ask yourself, what is my goal? What am I looking to accomplish? If I'm looking to write a book, I'm not just saying I want to write a book. Get specific on what it is you want to write that book on. Am I trying to reach parents with toddlers? What type of book am I looking to write? Do I want to focus in on women? Do I want to focus in on men? Do I want to focus in on a certain age group? Become very specific at the goal in which you're trying to accomplish, all right? Then you want to set that start date. I'm going to start this, and I'm going to start working on this July 5th, 2019. And I want to make sure that I finish this September 9th, 2020. In between, remember, there are going to be benchmarks that you're going to have to meet. So give yourself enough time, but don't give yourself too much time till you begin to procrastinate. Now next, remember, evaluate the steps that I need to get to reaching those goals. What do I need to do? What are the steps that I need to take to get there? All right? And then next, you want to ask yourself, what is it that's hindering me? What is it that can come upon me that's going to hinder me from getting to that goal and reaching that goal? All right? Now, I always say, evaluate the three things that will help you. Could it be a mentor, resources, whatever it is, going on a trip, going somewhere and getting quiet, quieting yourself. And and a lot of times people really need to go get away. Sometimes you just can't do what you need to do home. You need to maybe go to a hotel. You need to go out of state. You need to go out of town. You need to get to a place to yourself. Look at those things that can help you reach your goal. Next thing you want to look at and ask yourself, I need to reach this goal because if I don't reach my goal, I'll have absolutely nothing to show for in life. If I don't reach my goal, I won't have this. I can't leave a legacy. But I want to reach my goal because I want to make a difference in the lives of each and every individual who comes in my pathway. And so ask yourself what it is, and you go from there. All right? So I just wanted to give you guys just a small tidbit of goal setting. I wanted to keep it simple because when we make it too complex, when we do too much, it allows us to stop. We'll stop and we won't move forward. And so if you have questions, definitely feel free to simply inbox us here at the List Tour and visit us at our website. We have so much there for you. It's thelisttour.com, or simply click the link in the bio and it'll take you to where you need to go. All right? But thank you guys so much for being on this call. We're going to do another one on tomorrow, but it's going to be dealing with social networking, and I have a special guest that's coming in that's going to be talking about it, because social networking is so necessary for so many of us. If we don't get outside the box, you never know who's out there to help you get to the next level, or who has that one very thing to help you progress in your life. All right? So you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday evening. No, it is Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday. My dates get mixed up. But have a great rest of your evening. Create your goals for 2020. Stick to your plan. And we'll talk again soon. All right? Bye-bye.